Nick from Millburn, joined by Frankie A and the great Bill Hathaway, the unofficial mayor of Orange. We're going to do our the Nick from Millburn Hall Hoops and Happening post-game show. Big win for the Pirates today, 78-67 in Manhattan, Kansas. We went out there. Ken Palm had us losing by one, and 11-point win, big on the road. And Frank, your thoughts?
Oh, wow. I'm pleasantly surprised because of this start. We're 9-1, and that's a bona fide win. It's a road game against a Big 12 team that, a lot of teams in the country cannot do that. I mean, yeah, Bowling Green did do that, but I thought they were not going to let that happen again, losing at home again and losing 4 times in a row. They made their runs, but we have a different team this year. We did not fold. And I noticed that in the North Carolina State game too. North Carolina State made their runs, and we held them off. USC, they made their run. They actually went ahead, but we showed some perseverance, came back, and it was a toss-up right at the end. That could have went either way. So my thoughts are, I'm very excited. Now we have to make sure we could knock off Rutgers at home. It's not going to be easy. Those games never are. They were heavy favorites against us last year, and we took them down to the wire. They hit that shot at the buzzer. Of course, I'm looking for a comfortable victory, but I'll take anything for next week. And then we start the Big East play, and I have some confidence, and I'm a little optimistic that we could do a lot better than what I thought when we were all talking back in August. I mean, I was hoping at best for maybe 10-10. I think, there's a chance this team could actually win 13 games in the Big East.
Bill, what do you think about tonight? I'm just trying to produce and get us live.
I thought this game was just 2 halves. Seton Hall played well in the first half, and they kind of squandered some of the lead in the second half. But I thought, AJ Stanton McCray, 14 points, 5 rebounds, and you had only 11 turnovers, which I said from previous shows that Seton Hall is trying to keep the turnovers ratio down to 8-10. But I thought it was a very good win on the road, and now the team gets a little, maybe 1 or 2 days a break, and off to Rutgers at the Prudential next Saturday, which hopefully will get the Seton Hall will win another game. They'll be 10-1, and they'll get that Hardwood Classic, one of the best teams in Jersey.
Yeah, I mean the thing is now we're 9-1, and we have a week off, and I don't know if the exams or not this week, but we have a week off, and then Rutgers comes in, and again Rutgers lost to Central Connecticut State, and we beat Central Connecticut State handily at home.
Yeah.
But again, it's Rutgers, and it's a rivalry. So I mean, you never know in a game like that what's going to happen. But, you got to go in there high, and you got to go in feeling good. And the one thing about a Shaheen Holloway coach team, there's going to be no letdown, right? There's going to be no letdown at all. This team will be ready. Frank, what do you think about well, Bill, did you go over the stats for today's game?
No, I didn't. I'm going to go over right now.
Yeah, go over the stats, and I'll do this live stream.
Adam Clark, 10 points. 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Elijah Fisher has some key baskets in the ending parts of the game. Towards the end, he had 16, 5 rebounds, 1 assist. Mike Williams, 7 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists. AJ Stanton McCray, which AJ Stanton McCray played a hell of a game against North Carolina State, and he scored 57 points in 3 games. He had 14 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Najee Hines, 11 points, 3 rebounds. Another good game by the big guy. 19 of 52 field goal percentage. 3-point field goal percentage is 21, but 15 assists, 5 blocks, 11 turnovers, points in the paint 40. And, like you said, Ken Palm had us losing by 1, Nick?
Ken Palm had them beating us by 1.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. And, second, first victory on the road for Seton Hall. Hopefully
Right,
many
because
more.
all those other games in Maui were neutral court games, right?
Exactly. Yep.
So first road game and first road victory.
Yep. Very impressive game in the second half by AJ Stanton McCray and Elijah Fisher, some key baskets that, put the victory away for Seton Hall.
Frank, who impressed you the most today? Or let me rephrase that. What impressed you the most today?
A couple of things. AJ has been great. He's almost like becoming our go-to guy when we need something. Then the other thing that really impressed me was we were in major foul trouble right in the beginning of the second half. Payne took that, I think it was like 19:31 left in the second half, and he reached over, and it was definitely a foul, but it was something he didn't need to do. Immediately, he had 4 fouls, and then everybody had to be careful after that. We kept our composure and stayed away from having silly fouls for a while, and then we went on a nice run. That's what impressed me the most about the game, because I was getting nervous in the first half. We came out firing, had a couple of 3-pointers. Then we went stale. We weren't hitting anything from deep. We couldn't hit an outside shot, and then they put that big guy in there, Buka, and we had no chance. It was hard to get a basket in the paint with him in there, and with them daring us to shoot from the outside. But we did maintain a lead going into halftime. But what really impressed me was I was really concerned that everything could just slide in Kansas State's favor, and we really kept our composure despite the foul trouble. That's what impressed me the most.
Bill, what impressed you?
What impressed me was the second half, where Elijah Fisher had some key baskets late in the second half, along with AJ Stanton McCray. Those 2 guys, they were the big overall pushers for the team. At one point in the game, in the first half, it was at 8:29 in the first half. Seton Hall had missed 6 field goals, and I was getting scared also. But this team has impressed the entire country, and they're doing better than at this time last year.
Yeah, we couldn't. You know what? That's the thing. We weren't going to do worse than last year we won 7 games all year, and now we're at 9.
9-1.
And if I told you guys, if I said that after our first 10 games we were going to be 9-1, Frank, what do you think? Do you think that was a possibility?
Nick, I would have thought you were just too optimistic. I would have said, Nick, I love you. I love your enthusiasm, but 9-1, you got to be a little bit realistic. I did not, before the year started, I was saying, all right, we need at least 1 in Maui, and then we need to hold serve against, all those bye games, the first 5 or 6 that we had, the 5 that we had. And then we came back. Central Connecticut State, that was another one. So, yeah. But getting to 10-1, I mean, thinking maybe if we won those 6 plus 1 in my Maui, and then between Kansas State, well, we didn't even get to Rutgers yet, and we're in our first 10. But Kansas State, I was like, well, all right, we're not going to be able to win a game like that on the road. Maybe as the Big East season goes on, we might be able to win a road game against a big-time team. But that's going to be a game that's going to get us ready for the Big East season. I did not think we were going to be able to go in there and win a game like that. I mean, going 9-1, this is beyond my expectations.
Pleasantly surprised, right? And
Yeah,
it's not only 9-1. It's the way that we're playing. It's the way that the 9-1 is.
Oh yeah,
exactly. It's like this team has a lot of team chemistry. They play together, and they're selfish. They're not,
They're
they
unselfish.
hustle. They play together. They're a big team. Let's see what happens. Many more games. We got a whole season to go. We're coming back home. With a good rhythm, and hopefully, Shaheen Holloway will keep his group together as he has done so far this season. And like if you said, like Nick, you said to Frank, my expectations of this team. Okay, my expectations after that North Carolina win on the road. People said they weren't going to win, and absolutely they won because they had team chemistry, they had togetherness, they took key shots at key moments, and that's how you win basketball games.
Let me ask you this, and Paul, we know you're in the green room. We're just having to work some things out. We'll get you on in a second. Click Facebook surge on and off switch. Where's the Facebook surge on and off switch? I don't know. We don't have a producer tonight, so I'm doing my best. But anyway, they came in with the leading scorer in the country tonight in
Haggerty.
Haggerty,
Yep.
and
Yep.
he was like, I don't know. I don't know. He just did not. We shut him down, and we shut him down as a team. I thought
Like
it was
Haggerty at one point was exchanging words with his head coach. I don't know what that was about, but maybe that was a type of rant he had to get out of. And also he had at one point during the game, he had some interaction with the officials. I thought that was like trying to get the calls that at home. Some coaches do, to get their team ramped up. If they're behind. But that was kind of crazy at one moment, Frank. I don't know how you agree with that.
I thought it was frustration. I thought it was like 100% frustration on his part. He had a 3-game losing streak, right? He lost to Bowling Green at home. He's like, oh, Seton Hall's coming in. Looked at our record last year. They're not that good. We have the transfer from Monmouth who lit us up last year. He'll do the same thing in Bashir. They have the number 1 scorer in the country. And I think what shocked him was our defense. I just think our defensive intensity, if you're not used to seeing that defensive intensity, I mean, it's not common. It's his swarming stuff, and it just carried us. And you could tell he was frustrated. And what Bill said, I've seen coaches go crazy. I've seen Pete Carrill at Walsh go crazy, but never run on the court like that. I mean, that was over the top.
Nick, I was just going to ask you that. I was going to say, you've watched basketball for about 10 more years than I have, and I can't recall anybody ever walking out and getting in an official's face as they're coming up the court like that.
I remember at Walsh, Pete Carrill had a 20-point lead against us, and we started coming back. Danny Calandrillo started going off, and he got a technical. And Mickey Crowley, one of the officials, was pleading to Pete's assistant coaches to shut him up because they didn't want to throw him out of the game. Pete took his program and tossed it into the stands. And that was his anime. And in the old Raftery days, throwing his coat and getting, but I've never seen anyone just run out. I mean, he could have hit a play. Someone could have got hurt, right?
I thought he was going to get ejected. I thought it was going to be an immediate ejection. I don't recall ever seeing that. I mean, I remember Bobby Knight throwing that chair across the floor, but PJ, I've never seen PJ do that. I don't remember seeing Bobby Knight would do his things. Pete Carrill, I'd see him going nuts on the side. But I'd never seen anybody walk out there like that.
I mean, it was just pure 100% frustration. I'm going to get Paul in now that we kind of fixed some of our things. And Paul, how are you? Paul's on the phone. Paul's doing a scouting report.
Oh, I thought he was on
Paul,
WSOU.
and Paul. Earth to Paul. Paul.
That was very unprofessional of me. FedEx called me in the middle of this. Apparently, they're delivering something, and I can't figure out what for.
Paul, what makes this show so great is that we're all unprofessional. And,
What's up, Paul? How you
and
doing?
the queen of unprofessionalism, I don't know where she is. She's playing a slot machine at Borgata or something.
Well, I'm not sure she exists.
I know. We don't even know if there really is. Bill keeps going, who's this Nicole Gizzi person? I've never met her. Has she been at a game? Not to digress, but Nicole, come, where are you? Anyway, things have straightened out. Eli, thank you, whatever you're doing. Bobby in the background. Guys, I'm good at hosting. I'm good at talking. But, I'm
Nicole says I'm here.
I'm here, but where is she? I am real. We know you're real, Nicole.
She's the boss
they know
lady.
you're real at the Borgata where you're
Nick, she's the boss lady. She's the boss lady.
Oh no, Nicole runs the show. Nicole's the executive producer, believe it or not. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Nicole. I talked to Eccles this week, and Eccles is like, Nicole's in charge. Whatever Nicole says goes. So
that's right.
Nicole, we love you. So anyway, Paul, not to digress. Did you settle everything with FedEx now? You're all good?
No, I'm going to have to call them back. So I'm going to make do a quick take, and then I'll let you guys keep going tonight.
All right, go.
Okay. So first of all, again, I am consistently impressed with the fact that there's always 4 guys in double figures. Tonight it was, I think Fisher and McCray both, State and McCray both had 16. There were 2 other guys in double figures. We're scoring 75 points a night, and nobody scores more than 14 or 15. That is truly showing how good they are. The second thing is, I'm also impressed with our man Ron Castellanos, who actually in the on the Facebook group was spot on in terms of his analysis.
What did Mr. Castellanos? Does Mr. Castellanos exist? Have you ever met him?
No, I just seen his. He could be AI generated, but he's way too. Whatever his commentary was too smart for AI. Kansas State is a team that goes on runs,
right? And
I saw the second half. Every time Kansas State cut it to 9, the crowd was going crazy. Somebody would make a play. Payne made some. Got a jam. Hines got a jam once. Somebody hit a 3. And we saw them quiet the crowd and go back up by 14 or 15. That game, because of the crowd in Manhattan, sounded like it was a close game. But if you look at the running total, I don't think Kansas State ever got closer than 7 once. I think they certainly never got it down to 2 possessions with the ball. So we controlled the second half. We kept them at bay, which is what you need to do when you're on the road in a hostile environment like that. And the third thing was, I was listening to the announcers talking about Seton Hall, and they were talking about how good we are. And I'm saying, boy, I haven't heard anybody talk about how good we were in more than a year. And that was pretty impressive to listen to. The acknowledgement of how many different answers we have, how good Clark is, how good State and McCray is, how good Hines is and is going to be. And then my last thought was, I think Coach Holloway is probably very happy at how sloppy the last minute went, because now he has something to yell at the team about. You go out, you win another game, you beat a Big 12 team in their building by 12, and you still have a reason to get on the kids the next day in practice. The last minute was sloppy enough that Coach Holloway can get on their case. So I'm gonna drop.
Paul,
thank you guys for having this.
I'm gonna take advantage of you. So just tell FedEx to calm down for 2 seconds, and we got it.
Okay, I will do
All
that.
right, just tell them to relax. And who's your buddy that did that started doing the analysis, the scouting reports with you? Art the Sailor Thomas, who was on like once?
Yeah, Art. Yes, Art's been very busy. I sent out a little note to him asking him if he was going to get writing.
Well, Art needs to start reading your stuff, because Art posts that, the announcer said that, I always have your back. I have everyone's back. But when it comes to an analysis, I think you're like the best. The announcer said that Bud Clark is used to just playing a 2-3 zone in defense. And I'm like, Paul said that 4 months ago. Right? Am I right, Paul? Like, I wonder how he's going to adjust to man-to-man. I'm like, come on. Art, Paul said that.
Well, the problem is, I wrote those previews and I published them in August. I don't know if enough of our fans were looking at them then.
You might have to,
But as we were getting,
repost them because
I may have to put them out there
they
now.
are spot on.
Paul,
Well, it is.
Paul, were you watching the block situation? I mean, I thought 9 minutes into the game, we got our third block, and
Well, I thought the officiating was atrocious.
Well, it was the guy that
Um,
did. Didn't you know it was the guy, Frank? It was the guy that did the game in Maui that was god awful.
yeah,
he
was
thinking
great
that's
tonight.
the same
He was
guy.
great. I thought he refed a good game
Really?
tonight. Yeah, I knew. Look, the officials. Sometimes it's human nature to try to even things out, but I didn't think they went overboard with doing that. The fouls were pretty much even, but we're an aggressive team, and but I think when you sit there and you analyze the whole game, it was right where they should have been. The same amount of foul calls going each way.
Not to interrupt you, but we have
Frank,
Joseph in the green room. Joseph, we will get you on in a second. Okay, hang in there, Joseph. 1 second. Go, Paul.
Yeah. So, Frank, the problem I had is, as the game wore on, I thought it seemed that more and more the officials were anticipating contact. There were a couple of drives where the kid from Kansas State went in, and the refs blowing the whistle before we actually made contact. It's like they got so into a rhythm of calling fouls as they go inside against us that they were calling them before they were committed. Now, I don't think that'll happen in the Big East because the Big East is a much more physical conference. I think also our guys are going to get better. Hines, the freshman, he's going to learn how not to foul. But and Payne's actually been in foul trouble his whole career, so that's not surprising. That was one of the knocks on him.
But the thing with Paynes and Hines, though, we can give fouls, correct?
Yes, and we still and we got to get Godswill
Have you
back
heard
because
anything
there's
about
another
that?
5
Bobby
fouls.
kept saying, it's day by day, and I mean, I don't know.
Just to get 10 minutes and 2 fouls that the other 2 guys don't get out of him would be very, very valuable.
I would take 5 minutes.
Yeah, anything. Just get him out on
But
the floor.
with the anticipation, I know what you're talking about, and I just think that's human nature for refs, especially when a team has a big lead. But Nick will remember this. Remember Timmy Higgins? Remember that ref?
Oh, Higgins and Jimmy Burr were both older than you and I are now, and they both had to weigh 40, 50 pounds more than you and I weigh.
Exactly.
And they did a game together, and it was probably the worst officiated game. They walked off the court and the game was still going on. See, it was a Big East tournament game. I mean, that's one of my pet peeves with these guys. These guys are just too old. They don't know when to stop. And
my pet peeve was they would make the game all about themselves.
That's right. Let's put it this way:
around.
if you know an official's name, then he's not a very good official, right?
If you had Tim Higgins in Alumni Hall in Queens, you had to beat that team by 17 because the thing about Higgins too is he was a master at calling a foul from the foul line on the other side of the court.
He couldn't keep up.
How about you run up the floor before you actually raise your arm? I don't think you can see the goaltending from 75 feet away.
I mean, guys, and I'm not kidding. These guys for a part-time gig, right? Because it's seasonal, are making pretty good money a game in the thousands of dollars.
Yes.
And some of these guys do 80 games. That's 80 games a year. That's insane.
Yes, and that was going to be my point to you, Frank. If it's a 17-year-old kid working a youth game, yeah, he's going to blow the whistle. But these guys are supposed to be pros. They have jobs that are designed to allow them to spend all winter officiating games. And the most important thing an official can do, in my opinion, is call what he sees, as opposed to what he thinks he's going to see. And a couple of times I thought that these guys were calling a foul that they were sure was going to happen. And then Stephon Payne took a step back, and it was
all right, guys. Paul, I'm going to let you go, okay? And then we got
Thank you, guys.
Joseph.
All right.
And then
Paul,
we
I'll
got,
talk to you later.
And then we got Paul. Thank you. We got Joseph. I'm going to bring Joseph on now. Joseph, you there?
Hi, yeah, I'm here.
How you doing? Give us your thoughts.
Doing well, doing well. Well, first off, I want to say another great win, another strong defensive showing. Very happy about the way this team has come out of the gates this year.
Well, Joseph, are you
And I wanted to
surprised?
ask-
Joseph, are you surprised?
I am. I'm very happy. Very pleasantly surprised. I coming into the year, I had high hopes. I had expectations that we'd have a much better season than last year, but I wasn't expecting this.
What did you think about today's game? Who impressed you on our squad today?
So, to be quite frank, I didn't get to watch the majority of the game as I was at work, but I got home towards the end, and I was very impressed by the way they calmly, quickly ended that Kansas State run. That 7-0 run that cut the game to 8 points had me a little nervous, but the way they so calmly broke out of that rut made me very excited.
And they wouldn't have done that last year, right, Joseph?
Oh, most definitely not. They wouldn't last season. I don't think they would have gotten themselves into that position. They
Yeah, we
wouldn't
wouldn't have
have
been up
had that
16
lead.
points last year to anybody.
Yeah.
Joseph, how long have you been following the Pirates?
Ooh, I want to say that I've been closely following the Pirates since about 2014.
Okay, so you're with like Isaiah. Your point of reference is Isaiah Whitehead, right?
Yes.
So you haven't been through too many bad years like last year, correct?
No, not at all. And I think that's what that made it a little more difficult for me because I never experienced that before. And at times I worried, will I ever get to see a really good Seton Hall team like that again? And it's looking like so far it's looking like I am.
We're relevant again, right? Doesn't it feel great to be relevant?
Oh, it feels amazing. And after a week with 2 wins, especially a road win against a Power 5 team, pretty sure we're going to see the Pirates back in the top 25.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, right? I think we'll get some more votes. I don't know. I mean, the only thing is Kansas State was like this is their fourth straight loss in a row. So I don't know. I mean, going to Kansas and like you said, Power 5 conference win is a big thing. I don't know, but it's nice to even be mentioned. Bill, do you have anything for Joseph?
Yeah, Joe, I wanted to know your opinion about the recruiting at Seton Hall this year. How well you think Shaheen Holloway has done in his recruitment of his players?
I think he's done an incredible job, and I think he brought in the right guys to fill the roles that he wants his players to play, the way he wants to scheme his games. It reminds me a lot of what Kelvin Sampson is building over at Houston. A lot of defensive players, some 3-and-D guys. It's a great mold. Defense wins championships, and I think he brought a lot of the right guys together.
Joseph, that was so astute and relevant. Speaking of relevant, that you said that because a very good friend of mine just sent me a thing on Houston's defense and how that we're following along in that manner. And you just nailed it. That's exactly right. Exactly. That's a great point. Frank, you have anything for Joseph?
No, I mean, I agree with almost everything that he was saying. I wish he was able to see the whole game. I'm sure he, wishes he didn't have to work today, but no, it was a beautiful game to watch, and he must be excited just like the rest of us.
Joseph, I don't know if you know Nicole or not, and if you know her, is she real? But anyway, Nicole just typed in our chat, welcome, Joe.
Oh, thank you, Nicole.
Wait, so you know Nicole?
Yeah, I have met Nicole before.
Yeah, Nicole's great. Hopefully she'll pop on. But Yeah, Joseph, please. That was a great call. We got some other people waiting to get on. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. And come back anytime.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you having me on. Look
Thank
forward to
you.
joining
You're
again
welcome.
soon.
Bye,
Thank you.
You're
Joseph.
welcome.
Thank you. All
Bye,
right.
guys.
Now we're gonna bring Junior up.
Uh-oh.
How's it going, everyone?
What's going on?
Nothing. I just think that being 9-1 is an awesome thing, and um, I know, Kansas State hasn't been, as good as I think maybe people expected them to be to start the season, but like Joseph said, it's a road win against a Power 5 team, and watching that game, I mean, that crowd did not stop. That crowd did not slow down. So that was a real intense environment to go into and lead from start to finish. I think it's a great sort of thing to have under our belt going into these Big East environments. But 9-1 is a great thing. I'll be honest, I'm very, very excited for next Saturday. I think we have a lot to be happy about.
Now, Nick, let me ask you this before the guys have at you. You and I went to Kansas, and not Kansas State, Kansas. We went to Kansas, and we had the best barbecue I've ever had at some place out there. And somehow, Nick and his buddies are schmoozers. We got a total tour of Kansas, right? When they were doing their shoot around, like at 3:00 in the afternoon, and I got yelled at because I walked on the court and that was supposed to be sacred or whatever. And the guy who was giving us Coach Self was not too happy. But anyway, Nick, when we went out to Kansas, like, describe Kansas and what they think about basketball and how that atmosphere was.
It's religion. It's the thing to do. I mean, that place for a team that hasn't been doing, hasn't had the best season, that place was on fire. Whenever they would go on a little run, and I think that speaks even more to the fact that we were able to withstand the runs they had. It's, not only are you facing this team that's having these little runs against you, but the crowd's behind them. So, I mean, basketball's everything over there. It's the thing to do. And I know their rivalry versus Kansas is a massive thing. But, I mean, and I think I saw today, too, it's the first win against a Big 12 team since 2001. So there's just a lot of positives. I'm definitely in the camp of, comparing this year a little bit to last year. And I know, we want to be on to bigger and better things, but it's just hard not to. Looking at a team that has 9 wins in December versus a team that didn't have 9 wins, period. And just to be able to play the types of games we have. I mean, we're 9-1. We should be 10-0, but I mean, it's whatever. That game happened. And then, there's no reason why we shouldn't beat Rutgers. Rutgers got put 100 on them against Michigan today. I think it was 100 to 60 or 61 or something.
Wow. Oh, wait, was that they started Big Ten conference play already?
Yeah, they always start early, but I feel like they might go back to non-conference. But Rutgers lost to Michigan today at Michigan by 40.
And they lost to Purdue earlier this week too.
Yeah, it's a rough showing for them, which I think also kind of maybe can be it's hard to look at, a rivalry game as a trap game, but I don't know. I mean, it's just after the type of year we had last year and watching St. John's be, such a, a relevant nationally team, and then watching Rutgers have the 2 top prospects they did. It's just really nice to see a competitive team. And I think the thing with McCray is I looked at McCray's box score, and I saw that he didn't have the best game, but just to have someone like that who doesn't have the best shooting game but still ends up with 16, I think is really promising heading forward. And someone else is, he can hit his shot. Some days he's not going to, but he just has to keep shooting, and to have that go-to guy is I think also like a thing that we've been missing, especially last year.
I mean, Nick, going back to your days with the program. I mean, and everyone complains we don't practice foul shooting. We always practice foul shooting, correct?
But yeah, I mean, I think it's just like a kicker missing, a extra point. It's something you've done a million times right, but doing it in live action and having the crowd there and having, whatever extra stressors come with the fact that it's, you're in the middle of a game. I don't think it's ever lack of practicing.
We were 17 for 22 today at 77%. And that was the difference because we shot 39% from the field and 22% from the three-point line. But we held them to 37 from the field and 20%. And they took 13 more. Everyone's complaining about the officiating. And my friend Gene, said, put a referee shirt on Paul because my friend's a high school official. And he doesn't like when we're over critical of officiating. But they took 13 more foul shots than us, right? And yet we hit 2 more than them. So that could sum it up right there.
What did they go? What was the total?
They were 15 for 35.
That is horrendous. That was the game right there.
That was the game right there. Nick, before I'm going to let Paul and before my buddies here, Frank and my good friend Bill from Orange are going to ask some questions. We got a question, and it's from Mike. And Mike, if you want to hop on, please. But your question is, what is your Big East win total predictions? And I'll go first. At the beginning of the year, I thought if we could get 7 or 8, that would be a lot. And now KenPom has us at 9. And I don't know. I'm creeping up to like 11, maybe. I don't know. I mean, we can do really well at home, and if we win a couple of these road games, I'm going to say right now, I think 11. What do you think, Frank?
It's creeping up. I mean, like you, when we discussed this back in August, and I was saying to myself, realistically, not to myself. I said it on the show. I said, realistically, we could probably get to 6, but if we get some luck and things going our way, maybe we could get to 10. Now I think we should easily get to 10. I truly believe that. And I'm thinking there's a possibility we get to 13.
Nick, what do you think?
I think anywhere from 7 to 13.
But that's a huge gap, though.
It is a huge gap, but I think I lean more towards the 12, 13. And I know that's, a lot just based off, a month and a half of basketball. But I mean, I don't see anyone that's untouchable in the Big East. Maybe UConn is the closest thing to that. So I don't think there's anyone that we can't beat. The road matchups are always going to be hard, but I definitely think a ceiling of 12 to 13 and a floor of maybe like 7, but realistically like 8 or 9.
But let me put it to you this way though. Assuming we're going to beat Rutgers, right? Because we'll all be like really disappointed if we don't. Correct?
Oh my God,
that's 10. Yeah. That's 10 wins going into the Big East, right? So if we get 13, that's 23, and we're in a tournament. Correct?
Well, it's we the quad 1 situation too. I mean, that's what got us a couple years ago. It's the quad 1 wins. So honestly, from this point forward, we're all Kansas State fans. We're all USC fans. We're all Washington State fans, and we're all
Kansas State.
Well, who did we beat the first game? It was
North Carolina State.
Yeah, we're all fans of these teams. We're all fans of these teams and seeing what they can do during their conference.
Mayor Hathaway, how many wins are we going to get in the Big East?
I say about 11.
You're another guy with so, and you think we're going to beat Rutgers, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's 21 wins, and then 11. Nick, will 11 Big East wins get you? It'll get you don't have to play the first. You'll play Thursday, right? That'll get you by, or should it?
It should, yeah. It's the bottom. Well, it's the bottom 6.
Yes, the bottom 6. So you'll be right there with 11.
I don't know. I mean, the reason I know 7. I said 7 to 13, and that's like a massive, gap. But I really do think that, being number 3 in the Big East, and if we're I don't know how many games number 3 in the Big East won last year, but I would say that like 12, 13 number probably is around what that was. But I don't think there's anyone I think that the easiest way to put it is there's no one that we can't beat in this conference. And the hardest thing is going to be to take care of the teams that you should be taking care of. But there's no game that I don't think that this team's going to show up for. This team's going to show up, home against DePaul and away at UConn. So I think every game's going to be a fight. And again, I mean, it's such a pleasant feeling knowing that we're going to go into this Big East stretch and think like every game is going to be winnable. UConn's on fire right now, so obviously that's going to be the most difficult game. But every game is really winnable.
Frank, any questions for Nick?
Well, Nick, yeah. When was the last time UConn beat us at home? I don't even remember off the top of my head, but I know we're.
So me and my dad went. So during the COVID year, when they started to allow people in, I think there was one game that year that they let people in, and me and my dad went, and it was against UConn, and we lost. So that must have been 2021, 2020. So let me go backwards. So we won 2025, we won 2024, 2023 was Casey Nadefu, and then 2022 was the game where Kadari went off.
Exactly.
He had 20 straight points. So honestly, it's 2021.
Okay.
And Frank, I'll never forget that game because we were itching to go, and we had to wear masks, and we couldn't sit next to someone we weren't related to, right? Because our friend Trayvon came over, and they would come and say something like, Trey, you got to there's got to be a seat between us. It was insane.
It was also
Right.
it was UConn's first year back in the Big East too. So, I mean, to be in that stretch, to be 4-1 against them at home is pretty crazy. But I have a question for you guys. What do you realistically what kind of a vibe and energy do you expect at the Prudential Center on Saturday? I mean, there's no reason why there shouldn't be a great turnout. I do expect it to be a lot less Rutgers fans than maybe in past years, just because of how they're doing compared to how they've been doing. But what do you expect that to be like?
Well, let me ask two questions though before we get to
Yeah.
deal with that. Are they going to open the top bow? Is the top bowel open?
I don't think so. I saw someone on Twitter put that the bottom is going to be pretty sold. I think the students always going to be interesting. I don't know when their winter break is. I think it probably falls around next week when they start.
When are exams? Anyone know when exams are? Will they be? They should be still there, right? Nicole, when you have connections. When are exams?
I looked it up today. I thought it was after the 16th.
Oh, okay. So there's no excuses, right?
No excuses. But at the same time, I don't know what the excitement level is. I mean, we can win, but I think you have to kind of reestablish that, that good faith with the fan base. But hopefully it's rocking. There should be no reason why it shouldn't be. I mean, this team hasn't played at the Prudential Center in 3 weeks, and look at what they've done since then. I think that's extremely remarkable.
Bill, how do you think the environment's going to be Saturday?
I think it's going to be rocking. I think it's going to be rocking. I think we're going to, get a good crowd and get a good big win against Rutgers. Like Nick said, Rutgers lost 2 big games, so they're on the losing streak right now. So Shaheen Holloway, has to go back to the lab and change things that he did good in this game and he did bad in this game, and make improvements and keep it moving.
I know we don't want to get into too much about dollars because no one really knows, but I read something, I think Carino put it, so I don't know where he got it from or whatever, because I know they're really close-lipped on how much money they spent, but supposedly Carino said we spent more money than Rutgers. Frank, do you think that's true?
I did hear that, and I could see that being true. But I think Rutgers winds up they were in that pro player event down in Vegas, so they automatically get $1 million there. So I think they closed the gap right there. And then I'm still not exactly sure how this works, but they have to put a boatload towards football, so they might not have as much to give for basketball. Something tells me there's got to be something going on where these big schools are paying like say Kentucky, for instance. Somebody said on TV yesterday their payroll is the highest in the country. They should be embarrassed that they got blown out by Gonzaga and that they're at 22 million. I'm saying, how are they at 22 million for the basketball team? You know they're paying their football players at least something. Something doesn't make sense, and they have a decent SEC baseball team too. They're getting their student athletes are getting way more than 21 million. We, on the other hand, we can't share the whole 21 million, and I know that's not what we're doing, but it's definitely a big guessing game. I'm still trying to put pieces of the puzzle together, but we don't have all the pieces to put together, so it's too hard to guess. But I do think that we probably are outpaying Rutgers this year.
And that, not to interrupt Nick, but the thing is though, it's like basketball, and you can say this, and Nick always used to say this. Basketball is about team chemistry, right? And everyone knowing their roles, and some players do certain things, right? You can't have 8 shooters or 4 shooters. You have to have a balance. And I think Shaw did a splendid job. And I think also what you need to do, and it's real hard to do, you have to get good character kids, right? You can't have someone coming in and thinking they're a superstar. You got to have good character players. And the portal, I mean, it's not that long, right? So you have to do tons. I mean, I wouldn't want, these assistants are working their butts off, you know? This is insanity.
Speaking of assistants, I mean, did you guys watch the UConn game the other night against Kansas?
I did.
They made a comment because they showed Bill Murray in the stands, and his son Luke is an assistant coach for Hurley, and he has been. But they were saying how highly regarded he is, and they mentioned how, the mid-majors are coming after him. They want him to coach for them, but UConn pays him so much money, he's not going to leave and go coach a mid-major. So that's another thing. Like the schools with deep pockets are paying their assistant coaches a ton of money. That's something I didn't even realize until they mentioned that the other day.
And think about this, you almost have to, right? Because you can't have a player making more than an assistant, but I'm sure that's happening.
Oh, absolutely. Sometimes head coaches.
I mean, that's insane. Nick, you were gonna say something before I interrupted you?
No, I mean, I think that's a really good point. Thing too, it's probably harder now than ever to be a coach for a mid-major, considering that, a lot of your players, like look how many players we have, that were at mid-major level schools last year. So I think it must be harder even, than ever. But the point I was going to make before I leave is this week between today and Rutgers, I believe maybe other than going to Hawaii, is the longest stretch of rest we've had all year. The fact that this team had 3 games in a row in Hawaii, came back, played, the best team in the NEC, but still, a competitive team that beat Rutgers. And then I'm assuming they went straight to Kansas State then the following day. So I think this team, deserves this rest. But I mean, it should be really good to see, we're coming off a week rest after having like a really good couple stretch run, to see what we're able to do against Rutgers.
Nick, are they coming home tonight? You know him a little bit. Do you think they're?
I don't know. I mean, I think there's no school, there's no class, so I think it's not necessary that they would be. But I think just to have I'm sure they're going to be off like a day or two. So just to have that little rest, and really, game plan Rutgers. I think that's going to be a really positive thing in our favor. I don't know what Rutgers' schedule is. I don't know if they play it all this week. But I think we really have an advantage point with that, and to see what we were able to do, without a lot of rest. Now, give this team time to kind of collect themselves. It's been, I'm sure, a whirlwind to go from New Jersey to Hawaii, to New Jersey to Kansas in 2 weeks. But yeah, I mean, it's this team is just hitting so many points so far this season, and there's so many things to just kind of be happy about and excited about. And last year, I mean, the Rutgers game was during my sister's wedding, so I know we had that going on, so we didn't really watch it. But just to have so much excitement where this Rutgers game is going to be, something I'm thinking about all week, and just to have something to look forward to with this team, I think just tells such an amazing story of the past couple weeks we've had.
Frank, one of the worst experiences I've ever had at a game was we were at Rutgers, and there was Miles Powell had a concussion and stayed on the court. Remember that?
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and they did like a 21-0 run against us, and it was over.
Oh, yeah.
And at halftime, they introduced that lousy football coach to like this whole pomp and circumstance, and it was just so. I'd never left the game with 15 minutes left in it, right, Nick? And it was just.
Oh, it was awful. I mean,
it was awful, and I hate them. I hate their building. I mean, my favorite team, Seton Hall. My second favorite team's whoever playing Rutgers, and yeah.
But then we wound up beating Maryland like a week later, right? At home under.
Yeah, no, that Rutgers game was the turning point in that season. Then coming back and like you said, beating Maryland and going on I think maybe an 8-game streak or something to start Big East.
Exactly.
I mean that Rutgers game that season, as much as it sucked being there in person and experiencing that on we were probably top 15 easily at that point. But that was a turning point. And I think there's a lot of history against Rutgers, and Rutgers has beat us 2 years in a row. Which is something that I don't think they've done, in a long time, especially in this Garden State Hardwood Classic era. So, next week we have the chance to kind of stop that and bring things back to our side. So there's a lot riding on this game, and I think it's gonna be a good one.
We got a couple questions. So Tom O'Brien, Tom, if you want to hop on, please do. You were great the last 2 times. Defense wins games. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Right, guys? What we were saying that. Bill, what do you think about our defense tonight?
I think it was a swarm of bees. You know what I mean? A swarm of bees. I mean, Holloway did his coaching staff has done a tremendous job as the game plan as they put together in each of the games. But that, like Tom O'Brien said, defense wins games. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And they won it tonight.
My guy, Bill, if I say you're the mayor of Orange, this guy is like the unofficial mayor of West Orange.
Not me.
Yeah, when Bill's the unofficial mayor of Orange, this guy's your neighbor in West Orange. My great friend Mike Pilardi. Nick hopped off. And Mike wants to know, and Frank, answer this question because we had talked about it. When's the other big guy coming back?
Sumnick?
No, not that Godswell.
Oh, no, that's what we were talking about before. I haven't heard anything either. As a matter of fact, my oldest son, Nicholas, he said to me the other day, right after the next morning, he goes, Dad, did you watch the press conference? What did Shaheen say about Ariarene? And I watched the press conference, but he didn't say anything. They didn't even go there. I don't think anybody even asked.
I think Bobby said at the one press conference he was at that Shah said it's a foot and it's day by day.
But that was the previous one, unless if what I watched on YouTube wasn't the whole thing. Maybe I just watched like a part of it.
Yeah, but I mean, there hasn't been any updates. So if it's day by day, I guess it's still day by day. But Mike, you're right. I mean, we could use another presence to get some minutes inside, especially with the Big East when it becomes a little bit more physical. I agree.
Yep.
Bill, can you put the link?
Tom's trying to get on.
Yeah, Bill, can you put the link to get on in the group chat in the Facebook page?
No, I can't.
So Tom can get on?
I can't do that.
Let me see. Let me see if I can.
Okay.
Frank, you want to answer some of those questions while I'm doing this?
Yeah, well, Tom O'Brien's comment about Tim Welsh, we discussed that before, and yeah, we totally agree. Michael Pilardi was also at that game with you at Rutgers. And then Mike Mishwarti Achachunis, did I say his name right? I hope I did. Is this the deepest team the Hall has had in a while? Yeah, no, it certainly is. I mean,
I agree with you, Frank. I agree with you.
Last year we were deep, but we weren't too talented. The year before, the 2 years before that, even our NIT run, what did we go? 7 or 8?
Yep.
7 or 8 players. I mean, so yeah, no, this certainly is the deepest we've been. And then Michael says when he comes back, we'll change the whole. I can't see it. There's a Surge logo right in the middle.
It'll change the whole dynamic in a good way.
Okay. All right. And it sure will. I mean, getting another body down there, that reminds me, Nick, of when we started turning the corner in the 80s, when we would have those big guys getting off the bench. Like even when Mark Bryant was still on the team, he would get in foul trouble. You'd have Ramon Ramos come in, and then maybe even throw in like a Kaim Long.
Well, we had Anthony the team that went to the finals.
This was before
we
Avon.
had Anthony Avon and France Volsi coming off the bench.
That was in the Final Four year. I'm talking about when Bryant's junior year.
Right.
When we first started turning the corner, and we all of a sudden one day we found ourselves ranked in the top 25 in the USA Today, and we came home and we played a UConn team that wasn't even that good. And
hey, Frank, do you think this is a signature win for the program? One of the signature wins for the program?
I wouldn't say signature because we have a history, especially a recent history of big wins, but it's definitely a statement win where, okay, last year was a fluke, maybe an aberration, maybe like we were just talking about how Shaheen has recruited the right complement of players, and it's like it's beautiful, the blend of players that he has. Last year, I remember we kept reading and kept seeing that we came in second. This person, we were going to have this guy, but he went to this school for more money. We're going to have this guy, same thing, and we had to settle for other players. And this year, maybe we didn't settle as much. I didn't hear that over the summer, and I was hoping maybe, he was going to be happy with some of the players or most of the players we had. I did hear that we lost. I forget the kid's name.
Hargrave, right? Hargrave.
The one that was from Temple and he wound up going to Villanova.
I don't know if that was no. There was another kid that I read recently that the one that got away was this Hargrave kid.
Oh, him too. Yeah. But I was talking about the other guy, the guy from Temple that wound up going to.
That was kind of in a package deal. Yeah, that played in high school with Clark, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So, I was scared it was going to be more of the same this year, but we started getting some players, and then when we got Hines. And I knew NC State was hot on his butt.
Plainfield, New Jersey guy.
Yeah, but you know what? NC State really wanted him, and that really told me something because they must have money down there, despite the fact that they have to feed a football program.
Yeah, Mike Pilardi says it's almost a curse. If a player, what? Can you read that?
Yeah, if a player has a good year, then he's going to get picked up by a bigger and better program.
And that's why I think, Mike, the priority is whatever money we have, we got to put it toward Hines, right? Hines and Clark, but Hines first. Well, and I don't know, I have no idea. No one knows for real what the dollar and cent situation is. But whatever we have to just get Hines. We just can't. There's no sense of getting a kid, taking him to a certain level, and then losing him. Tom O'Brien, I just posted it in the Facebook page. I just posted the link in the Facebook page, so you should be able to hop on. Let me say something real quick. Yeah, exactly. Mike said, the other Mike, gotta hang on to Hines to get Gordon. That's exactly right. That Plainfield connection, exactly right. And the coach is Plainfield is Derek Gordon's brother, and young Mr. Gordon is his son. So yeah, it's this is all about in life, right? It's all about relationships. And Shaw, I know there's money involved, but everything being equal, it's relationships. And Shaw has built those relationships over the years. And, they said on today that Hines was the number one prospect out of New Jersey. And that's great that we're getting the number one prospect out of New Jersey. We got the number one prospect out of New York when we got 15 Isaiah Whitehead. So when we are good historically, we're getting Jerry Walker and Terry DeHare and, Luther Wright and Jersey and New York kids and Johnny Morton. That's what we have to do. And that's, it's a little bit different now because money's involved, right?
I think Shaheen is building the foundation to make this program what he wants it to be when he coached at St. Peter's. When he went on that big run with St. Peter's, He had them local guys. Then when he came to Seton Hall, he had the NIT run. He's trying to rebuild the program. Just give him a minute, but he's trying to rebuild his program to back where it was when we played for the championships, like a Michigan, Terry DeHare days. Like I was a younger age back then, but I've always followed Seton Hall for a very long time. But we'll see what happens. We just take one game at a time. Don't panic.
Go on, finish up.
Don't panic. It's just one game at a time. One game at a time.
Yeah, I know. And let me just say the thing about the announcing tonight. And you guys were talking about Welsh, and I don't even know who the play-by-play guy was, but he made one of the most asinine comments I ever heard. Oh, Shaheen jumped at the opportunity to come back to New Jersey to coach the Pirates. I guess he didn't know that Jersey City's in New Jersey and that St. Peter's is in Jersey City. It's little things like that. If you're doing a game, do your flipping homework, right? Do your homework. I mean, it's not hard. It's how St. Peter's went on a miraculous run to get to the Elite Eight. And this guy doesn't know that they're from Jersey City, New Jersey?
Oh,
Wow.
he made a lot of errors. He also said there was a foul. Meanwhile, the ball was just knocked out of bounds. He also got some of our players confused. He said Hines put in a basket, but it was someone else. I forgot who it was. So he was having a rough night.
There's no excuse. And we're not, we're amateurs at this, but there's no excuse. Paul goes and does research and comes in as prepared as anyone. I do some, you know what I mean? It's not hard. Do your homework. If you're flying to a place, study on the plane. Fanta, I saw Fanta in Penn Station on the floor going over through his notes. And it's all preparation.
Well, maybe that poor guy was forced to drive out there.
Oh God. That's why he's in coach. Well, yeah. Well, Welsh was a pretty. I don't know. Tom O'Brien said that's why he's in coaching. Welsh was a pretty good Big East coach at Providence, like not upper echelon, but he wasn't. I mean, he wasn't Pacino from Providence. He wasn't Cooley, but he wasn't awful, right?
No. He frustrated us a lot.
Anybody else want to hop on? Please do.
I'm trying to get Tom O'Brien this link.
Yeah, if you want to send that, maybe you could have better from our group, Frank. You want to put it on the Facebook page?
I'm going to try to just message him directly.
Yeah, message him directly with that because Tom usually makes some really good points. Hall is favored to, and Mike, the other Mike said, Hall is favored to get Gordon, but it's early. Yeah, it's early. I mean, and you never know, right? But it's just so nice that we're in on these players. It's just really good that we're in on them because you get in on enough of them, you're going to get some. Right, Bill? From it started with your own guy, Greg Tynes from Orange, New Jersey.
Yeah, Greg. Yeah, Greg was one of the key great coaches and players at a. Yeah, I remember at one time and back when he coached here in matter of fact, he coached against us in Clifford Scott Essex County tournament with Al Thompson. And he beat us. But hey man, Greg Tynes is one of the legends out of Orange, one of the local legends. He came played at Seton Hall. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. I think he's going to be honored.
The thing about that team is, right, because Greg was from Orange. Glenn Mosley was from Irvington Tech, and he went on to be one of the great. And then they had Mark Coleman on that team, also from Irvington Tech. And then they had Paul Lape was on it earlier from Bloomfield. So there is something about getting local kids. I think that we've always had a mix, like PJ, right? Frank had a mix of local kids, New York, New Jersey, and then foreigners.
Right.
Right. And at the game the other day, I saw the last home game at the Rock. I saw Remus.
Oh yeah, I saw a post or something that he was around.
Yeah, I went up to Remus and said Remus, and Mike knows this. Mike Pilardi knows this. I kind of fibbed a little bit. I said, Remus, you're my dad's favorite all-time player. Not that you're my my best friend Gene's father's all-time favorite player, because Mr. Burley totally loved. And Gene, if you're listening, you know that loved Remus. So I got a nice picture with Remus, and it was very pleasant, very good guy. And
Remus's senior year was amazing.
It's great that these guys are coming back, right?
Oh yeah.
Nicole, when are exams, Nicole? Nicole keeps popping in between slot machines at the Borgata.
And Nick, if you could just mention that Tom O'Brien, I did. If he lives in Holly Springs, North Carolina, or something like that, I did messenger him. If that's the same Tom O'Brien, I sent him a link.
Oh, Mountain High School. Is that true? Is that true? Bill, did Mountain High School beat you guys?
I don't remember. I don't remember.
They had Mike. They had a kid named Tim Ronald. Was that the team? Mountain wasn't bad. What, Bill?
What year was that?
Mike, what year was that? That Mountain beat Tynes.
I can't remember.
Tynes came to the school in like 74 or 5, so it had to be the early 70s.
We got to get Greg on the show.
We gotta. You want to ask him?
I'll try to get, when I see him, I'm going to ask him.
Who is Mountain?
What?
Who is Mountain High School?
Mountain West Orange.
Mountain High School was West. Go on, Bill. Go on, Bill.
West Orange High School. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay, they had changed.
Yep.
Okay.
No. West Orange was so big they had 2 high schools.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They had West Orange and Mountain.
One.
And then I'm going to screw this up, but I think Seton Hall Prep became Mountain, or Mountain became Seton Hall Prep, and where Mountain was became West Orange High School, something like that. Because Seton Hall Prep took one of those buildings, either West Orange High School or Mountain. It's now Seton Hall Prep, because Seton Hall Prep was on campus when I went there.
Yep.
And then Mike goes, Mr. B loved Remus. He certainly did love Remus, and those were really fond memories. Yeah, no, I haven't, Nicole. I haven't seen Tom. We'll get him right on, but I don't know. Nicole, you want to post the link in the Facebook page? I don't know what's going on with that tonight. I have 4 producers and none of them are on. They're all one's at the Borgata. Oh, we got Tom on. Got one at the Borgata. Okay. One is between Florida and Mississippi. Lord knows where Luigi is. You know, Eli's working. Eli's working. Eli's paying more attention to us than anyone. He's working, and Bobby's on his way to the resort to work. So, you know, we're and this is a pretty good show, though. I got to admit myself. But anyway, we got Tom. We got Tom, for 3 guys our age. You know, doing the technical stuff. It's not awful. Yeah, Nicole. We're getting Tom on right now. Tom.
Hey, Tom. What's happening?
Sorry about that. Yeah, and I'm sorry I missed you at the beginning of the game there. I tried to get it on early before we grabbed some dinner, but I'm glad you're all still here. But great game, great win. I know you already talked about Tim Welsh there. I mean, he was horrible tonight. When right before the technical foul, he first said that he pushed off, and then they went right to the tape there, and they showed no, it was just a collision. If he was right, they would have looked at it over and over. Obviously, he was wrong. So yeah, and you guys mentioned the miscues that they had. It was kind of annoying because they wanted to see K-State come back. They wanted that kid whose average is 25 country. We were in his head. You all saw that. We were definitely in his head. Interesting fact. I coached basketball this morning. We had a game, and I say, "Hey guys, Seton Hall is playing on at 4:00." And these are 17-year-old kids, and nobody but one kid knew what Seton Hall was. I said, "Really? Okay." I said, and we had a tough game. I said, defense. I preach defense. Defense wins games. And I pointed to them, in the first half. I go, how many shots did they get off compared to us? And that's where you saw in the first half tonight, we were getting the offensive rebounds. We were getting the defensive rebounds. There was one point in the game, and you all saw that we were like, we could have put the nail in the coffin earlier, but we had a little some miscues there. but I don't care. How many fans in that stadium today? 10, 11,000?
And they were loud. And
They were loud. It's not called a pit. It's called the dome. Sold out, big crowd, and we respond. I'll tell you guys, we're getting better and better each game. Not on the defense. The defense is always there. I'm talking offensive sets. Hines' positions in the post, his patience in the post. I don't know if you saw, there was like 3 moves that he had down low, and he had a big body on him, and he took his time, didn't panic, didn't try to move fast. I really thought that he is coming into his own, and he's just getting better and better. I don't know what you guys think on that.
Oh, absolutely. And he wasn't in the lane for 4 seconds like that guy Buka's first basket. Remember that?
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, and Shaw did a good job when they went man, and they brought Buka out a little bit. So that meant what's our big guy's name? The long shred. He brought him out to the foul line. Yeah. So that gave some space. That gave us some spacing to attack the basket. Because if Buka sits down low in the paint, we drive. You saw he blocked. He got a couple blocks, yeah. But I like where Shaw made an adjustment there. And then when they went zone, the ball movement was and we still were attacking the middle. We were still attacking, yes. No matter how tall, 7'2", we were still attacking. But we were creating off-ball screens in the lanes, and that guy Buka wasn't as fast enough to make the adjustment there. So I tell you. We outcoached them today. We outcoached them big time.
Oh, and their coach knew it because I never saw. You ever see, Tom, all your years of coaching and watching, you ever see anyone run on the court like that?
No. He was embarrassed. 12,000 people. We're supposed to win this game, or at least be competitive. And he kept running. He kept hitting, And I know the refs probably gave him a couple fouls there, or there was one point right after the technical, the ref 2,000. Then there should have been a third one, but they let them play on. But no, when I tell my kids when we play, we start at the bottom here in the beginning of the season, and we're going to take steps. We're going to get improved. We're going to get better. We're going to get better. And that's what I told them today. We didn't win by 20. We didn't have to win by 20, but we won the game. And defense, I watched Duke and Michigan. I don't know if you guys caught Duke and Michigan State today. Did you see that game?
Parts of it, yes.
Yeah, I hate Duke. I hate Duke.
I hate Duke.
No.
You live right there, right?
Duke.
Do you live right there?
Yeah, I live I'm about 30 minutes from Duke. And I'm 30 minutes from North Carolina, UNC. And I'm 30 minutes from State. I live right in the middle.
Right.
The triangle. Yeah. So, so next is Rutgers, right?
Saturday night, 8:00.
And my wife, who lives with me for the last 31 years, is from Rutgers. And when we were listening to it on the show here, and she was listening to you guys, she's like, I'm rooting for Rutgers. I'm like, well, not in this house. Not in this house.
Tom, stay on for a couple seconds. We got some questions. Maybe you could
sure.
You could give us your opinion. So we got Mike A. Mike A goes, the announcers were rooting for Kansas State. You know what I learned about announcers want a close game. So they're going to always pull for the team behind, because once you get a blowout, people turn the game off. So they're going to, they want to pump up the team that's losing, because they want excitement. They want the people. There's a reason for you to watch the game. What do you guys think?
I agree.
Frank, go ahead.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, even for themselves, if us three went to go announce a game, say it was some high school basketball game, say we're seeing Seton Hall Prep against Bergen Catholic, we're going to want a close game. And I think we're going to be, if Seton Hall Prep's up by 15, 20 points, we're going to want to see Bergen Catholic maybe make it a little interesting, so we didn't essentially waste our time going there.
No, even with 3 minutes there was 6 minutes to go. We're up 15, and they're going to need to make a run here. And then Welsh was just really off tonight. Just really, really bad. But I think that question, I think he's right. I think, that's what is to, have them tune in. That's how they get paid for these advertisements, to make sure people are tuning in and watching the game and wanting a post game. I get it. You walk at Duke and Michigan State. That was a big game today. Big game. And I hate Duke and I hate the Boozers and I hate who? And who?
Bill, what did you say?
No, I hate Duke, but
Oh, no, I'm good.
so we got Rutgers coming up. You guys going to the game?
I am going. We just signed up. They're having a pregame prep rally, $60, all you can eat or drink. Not a bad deal. So we're going to that. Bill's gonna be covering that game, right, Bill? You're gonna be press row.
Yep.
And what about you, Frankie? You gonna go over?
I'm going to go down there. Yeah.
I'll keep an eye out for you.
All right. So
Come
at the
over
pregame,
and say hello.
I think I can still get tickets for that, right?
I wouldn't wait.
No, for the pregame, really?
Oh, for the pregame, I wouldn't wait. I do it like once this is over.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't wait. That sells out quick.
Okay.
How is Rutgers this year? I haven't followed them. I don't know anything about them this year. How are they?
They got blown out by 40 today.
By who?
They got beat by Michigan by 40 points.
Okay.
And Central Connecticut State, who we won by 16, beat them at Rutgers.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we got a question from Mike P. Said, you can tell Hines was a football player. Didn't they say something today that Hines, as a tight end, got 3 offers from pretty decent schools?
He played football here in Southeast Garner.
Wow.
That's right.
Did he play basketball? See, that's what I'm confused about.
No, he played. He was the tight end here in Southeast Garner, which is a tough school. First of all, it's a big school, and that is not an easy school to walk the hallways for sure.
Did he play basketball there too? Because it made it seem like he was like football.
No,
was
he
his
played basketball there, but football was
his number one sport, right? And then he came back.
And then I believe he transferred to New Jersey.
He came back to Plainfield, yeah.
Yep.
But he played at Southeast Garner. I forget what year, but he was the guy that was going to play football at one big Division I school. I don't know who it was that he was getting recruited, but highly recruited to play football at D1.
So I think the good news is he hasn't had a lot of basketball experience, right? So he's only getting better, and he's got a great natural instincts. I was talking to him the other night at the women's game. Great kid, really, really solid kid. Very, very bright, very, very personable. He's only gonna get better. And they were saying how he lost like 30 pounds since he came on campus, and
Wow.
he still has a big body, still like 265.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, the footwork tonight, big steps from the first couple games here. In the low post here, being patient, understanding, banging with the bodies, knowing how to shift left, right, and then putting it in. Man, God forbid if he ever gets a little jump shot, Lord have mercy. That's probably the next thing, because if he can hit a guy who can hit jump shots and, to go at the next level, he's got to be able to do that. But let's just take this for now. If he can score, I didn't understand why Shaw isn't playing him more. How many minutes did he play tonight?
Let me look that up for you.
Well, you're looking it up. I mean, he did have 2 fouls. I don't know if you're saying maybe he should start over Payne.
No.
Because he did pick up 2 fouls before halftime. And
he had 4 fouls, and he only played 13 minutes. And in those 13 minutes, he had 11 points. And Mike P saying he doesn't get rattled. Yeah, he doesn't seem like he seems much more mature than a freshman. Absolutely. Yeah. And Payne played 19 minutes and had 4 fouls. So to Mike P's point, we need God's will just for minutes as these games get a little bit more physical. Because if not, you have Josh Rivera play 10 minutes and he played some notes at center, which not Josh is in the center. Yeah,
he didn't look good tonight. But I'm not sure what it's God's will, right? Is the pace of the game? Our pace is so fast right now, and I remember him playing last year. The pace was never like this. Is he going to be able to adapt to that type of pace, both on both sides of the ball?
Is he going to be able to run the court? Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah.
I mean, not only run the court, because we play man. I mean, we play man. We switch a lot of switching.
Yeah.
A lot of switching, and I just remember him kind of getting lost last year. And he's got a big body. He's got a tall body, maybe not super wide, but I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Well, and to that point, we have a 7'2" guy on the bench, right? Who hasn't even seen anything. So if that kid could play, he'd be in, right?
Yeah. And then Felton, is he still hurt?
Oh, Felton's done Felton had surgery.
He did?
Yeah, Felton had surgery. Yep. Yeah, he posted it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So he's out. He'll come back next year. Well, hopefully he's with the team. I don't know. We get out of him.
Speaking of getting lost, did you guys see the opening tip? Did you notice?
Yes.
He was
looking at his shoes.
And then somebody lost the player, and then they had the alley-oop.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is going to be a long night.
And then we come down and hit a three. I'm like, all right, we're winning this game.
Exactly.
We're winning this game. He had his shoes, Frank, and I was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" Oh,
yeah. I was a little nervous. I'm like, oh,
yeah. But once we hit that three, Frank, I said, "Oh, we're winning this game. We're gonna."
Yeah, we had a couple of threes right off the bat. So
they shot, and I'm telling you, I think it was all in their head. We got into their heads. The pressure on even off ball, we were in their face. They were not getting quality looks, and they just got frustrated. And that kid gave up. Haggerty, or what's his name? He gave up. You could see on his body language, and I think the announcer said it's like
he was fighting with his coach. They were fighting.
Yeah, didn't want to be there. You could tell, and even his foul shots, and they called it. He was aiming his foul shots.
Oh
yeah, and when you do that, and you could tell once you do that, you're done. You're done.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys, I mean, you brought up a great point, how we rattled them. And I think we did the same thing to maybe NC State and USC. USC wound up recovering, especially when, they got a lot of whistles and they called the game really tight. But now we're going to be getting into Big East play. Are they going to be so much more, or these teams are going to be so much more prepared and they're going to be expecting us? Is the element of surprise going to be gone?
Just 1 second. You want to read Mike's piece thing, Frank?
Guys, I have to get off and watch the college football game of the year.
Well, we're going to be doing that shortly too. Great job. Thank you, Mike. Always a pleasure. Hop on again. We love you. I'm sorry, Frank. Go.
No, so I'm just hoping. I mean, Tom, like from your coaching experience, so. When you go ahead and you coach against a team and all right, this is what they're throwing at us. They come at us aggressively with defense. They block a lot of shots, and they're really tight on the defensive end. We're going to need a different game plan, one that NC State, Kansas State, USC, maybe even Washington State didn't have, and maybe they should.
Yeah.
You think that doesn't matter?
I don't think it matters today. When I coach my kids here, we press the whole game. And the guy I was coaching against knows me. He knows my style. If you don't have the personnel in there that knows how to break the press, and today he just didn't have it. I mean, he had two or three studs. He still got to have five. Right. And again, when we play Georgetown, that's going to be Georgetown's a good team. I don't know if you've seen them play this year. They're a good team.
Frank, what kind of press do you run?
Well, it's a 1-3-1, and we usually do it when the
That's
ball.
That's my favorite press.
And then, or we do a surprise where it's a 2-2-1 right when they cross over half court. When I know, okay, that's their point guard, and right when they cross off, right, They have nowhere to go backwards, right? So we put a ton of pressure on there. Yeah, we gamble a lot, but you guys understand how to attack the press. And
Yeah.
when we play against Georgetown, that's going to be a tough because I watched them play. That's going to be a physical game for sure. That's going to be a physical game. DePaul, we should be fine. Again, I'm just looking at some of the games I watched earlier in the season. But our scoring ability and the fact that there's no one-on-one play here, I love it, guys. There's no one-on-one. We'll break them down. We'll break them down. These off-ball screens that we're throwing out there. Oh my God. We're getting how many? We had a lot. I mean, towards the end of that game there, we had guys driving the lane and they're looking for the opposite side. I mean, so that doesn't happen overnight. You got to gel with that, right? You got to know, okay, when I go to that lane here, if that's not there, I know Bud's going to be on the left-hand side and I can kick it out there. So it was great. I mean, and it's just getting better and better and better and better on the offense. And the defense, who is it? I think it was Mike. You think we're like 8 deep? I think we're like 9, almost 10 deep right now.
Yeah.
And that's good because you saw all the fouls we had. Jesus Christ. We had a lot of fouls.
Well, no, and then if you notice, we wear teams down in the first half, and in the second half, we're just, we always put them away in the second half because they're just so worn down because we just keep coming at them the whole game.
Yeah, and that can take it. That can just exit you. That this guy's in my grill every time down, every time, and it can take you right out of the game. I honestly, that's what I think would happen to their best player. He got taken out early. Once he knew his shots weren't falling, the first 3, and you're a guy. At least he was leading the nation in scoring at 25 points a game. What did he end up tonight with? 9, I think. And most of them.
He had 11. PJ Haggerty 11, but 3 for 12, right? And 5 for 12 from the line.
Yeah. So, and then those last 4 baskets, those were garbage baskets anyway. But he was shut down early, and if we can come out and do that on every team that's got their number one, and we can, minimize the damage where the other guys have to try and score, we're in great shape, guys. We are in great shape.
Did anybody else see the Butler game today?
No.
They wound up losing to Boise State, but the way I was worried about them, but now I'm not as worried after watching them play. I mean, I don't see how they're going to be able to deal with our defense.
Yeah.
I mean, I was worried a few games ago and thinking, oh, this guy Bizjack, he could get open for these shots. But no, after what I saw, Boise State throw at them, I think we're a much better team defensively than Boise State, and they really struggled.
My friend's an assistant coach for University of New Mexico, and I talked to him, a few days before. I'm like, hey, we're K-State. He goes, they got a kid trying to recruit that is a white kid. He's a 3-point shooter from Serbia. I forget where. He goes, you got to look out for him because he shoots threes. He didn't even play the game.
Right.
He didn't even play the game.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. If that guy usually plays and that coach who's trying to prepare for Seton Hall knows they just took out a 3-point shooter who may have scored maybe 9 points, right? Maybe he scored 15, but he can't even be on the pace of the game and the pace of the defense here. He wouldn't be able to survive.
That's right.
You take away one of their weapons because that coach goes, I can't put him out there because these guys are in his grill. And I'm surprised they played the big guy that much because he was only averaging 10 minutes a game. He didn't play the last game.
Yeah.
And what did I saw him play? You saw his footwork. It was just slow. He just reminds me of Lou back in the day. But
Tom, let me say this, and you know this. You practice, you play how you practice. And we were at a workout for Seton Hall that was open to the public, And Shaw actually ran it as a regular practice. And miss foul shots, everyone runs. You go to dunk, you miss. You're the guy who does it, does push-ups. Like this is a high school, college team, and they were going at it. They were like running the whole time. So that's conducive to this style because you have to be in shape to play this style.
Yeah, and the kids have to buy into it.
Yeah,
they have to buy into it, and they are. You can see that. Do you see any of them talk back to Shaw?
No.
Nothing.
Nope.
Just going, you know what? Yeah, I made a mistake. All right, I agree.
Yeah.
Now Shaw may be yelling at him, blah blah blah, but you never see the body language. Like I'm not bothering with this guy. You saw it tonight from Kansas State. A couple players.
Yeah.
You saw that for sure. So if you don't have buy-in, you ain't gonna win.
No, and I think every kid that I've talked to that played for Shaw, the kids know that Shaw has their back and that he cares about them. And as a coach, once you establish that relationship, you can maybe push a little harder than you would normally if the kid knows that you really care about him.
Yep. So this is a big win on the radar map, right? This is a big win on the road. I wouldn't say it's one of our biggest wins ever, but it was a big win for sure. As we move into, because I'm already thinking about next year. Unfortunately, you do have to, because in 3 months, the season's pretty much over. And how do we, because we're going to lose players. I don't know what the budget is in terms of NIL, but guys are probably going to want to come play here because one, Seton Hall is winning. Two, coach, that type of style may fit them and they want to play that type of style. And then really number one is the money, right? What is our budget?
Yep. Well, no one knows officially, but what we're hearing, and now there's two things. There's NIL and there's revenue sharing.
Right.
So now we're more competitive than we've been because of revenue sharing, and Jerry Carino, someone told me, put in that we're at that this roster currently constructed is $6 million.
Wow.
And that it's more than Rutgers roster. I don't know if that's true or not, but if you're playing 10 deep, $6 million, 600,000. I mean, do the math, right? So that seems about right.
Hey, Nick, can I ask Tom a question?
Yeah, go. And we'll let Tom go.
Yeah. So Tom, I wanted to ask you, before the season started, right? What do you do? How would you assess this team right now compared to last year, and also recruiting? How you think Shaheen Holloway has recruited his team? Is this the team that he wanted on the floor?
So last year, I think, was kind of due to the fact of the money situation, right? Probably didn't know how much money in the bank they were going to need to pull players in. This year, they knew. I don't know how much these kids got paid. They're probably, each one of them, the top 6 or 7 are making over $100,000. That probably can be true. We are, this year, this is the Shaw team. Kind of St. Peter's, very physical. Doesn't matter how big or tall you are, but they're in their face. And guys have bought into this type of defense for sure. This is Shaw's team. This is a Shaw team for sure.
Yep.
With a little bit better, more shooting, and a little bit more better athletically. That's what I see. But hey, you're not going to host a show after Rutgers, but
no,
have
we
a good
are.
time.
We are.
You
no,
are?
we're gonna.
Are you gonna be live from?
No, what we're gonna do, we're probably gonna have like a half-hour delay.
Okay.
So it won't be right after the game, but it'll be close, right, Frank? We get on pretty quick after home games. Yeah.
You guys do. I mean, you live a lot closer than I do.
Are you? Is this game at the Rack?
No, God forbid.
No, that's true.
I hate that. We hate that dump. No, it's at the Rock.
It's at the home base.
All right. Well,
All right, Frank, let me
that's
let you
another
go.
thing. We gotta get these kids to come to the games. Jesus Christ.
Exactly. And hopefully they'll be there at the rack. But Frank, thank you. I mean, Tom, thank you so much.
Yep.
We appreciate
Thanks,
it.
guys.
All right,
Take
bye,
care,
Tom.
buddy.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Tom.
I think we will get the showing on Saturday. I really
He's
do.
great. He's great, by the way.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, we're getting this. This is great. We've had some like very intelligent people come on, tonight. And they know basketball, and that made this so much fun. Two things, and they're both relevant. Let me just find. I'm getting all these messages from people. But Carino noted, I'm hearing that there are many unclaimed student tickets for the Rutgers game. I find that hard to process. Seton Hall students' time to wake up. I'm tired of people picking on our students. I really am. You know what I mean? It's like, there's empty seats everywhere. I mean, I think the students are going to show up. Don't you, Bill?
Yeah, I think so. I think this game is a rival game, and I think the student body has been supporting the team. It shows that them games at Wash has proved it. So far this season. I don't know if you agree with me, Frank, but playing home games is the key to a team, any team that has success so far since Shaheen has taken over as our head coach. I think the student body is very supportive of our Seton Hall's program, and they will show up in droves. And
Al
that's just
Davis, Al
like you
Davis,
said,
Al Davis, not to interrupt you, but Al Davis, just win, baby. Just win. Right?
just win. You're right.
Win
Right.
and they'll come. I mean, and there's a giveaway. There's a giveaway to the students. They're probably going to give them free food, free T-shirt. We'll get students there. It's a
Yeah, I
Saturday
mean, they
night,
might
8
be
o'clock.
unclaimed now, but they're not going to be unclaimed later on in the week.
Yeah, they'll be claimed. And the other thing is, so we were 66 Ken Palm, and Ken Palm's my Bible. Now we're 56 Ken Palm.
Mm-hmm.
So we're moving up.
All right. A road win at a Big 12 school, that'll do it.
That's big, man. That's a big that's going to help Seton Hall as they get those wins down the road. Will help the NCAA committee digest what has Seton Hall done during their non-conference schedule.
That's right, guys. Everyone out there, it was great. The people that hopped on with questions. This is your show, very interactive. Last call. Anybody want to come on? Come on now, because we're going to be wrapping up in a few minutes. Anything else you guys want to touch on?
No, I'm good.
Yeah, we covered a lot, and I'm just excited. I just want to go enjoy it, just like you guys. And tomorrow will be a nice opportunity for the women to snag a game that they could use. Hopefully, they win that one. But no, really looking forward to next week. That should be a great atmosphere, and I know Shaheen will have the boys on guard. I don't think there's going to be a letdown. I just hope that Rutgers doesn't have one of those lights out shooting nights that come out of nowhere, and we do the opposite and they wind up coming in for an upset.
And Bill, you want to read Nicole's comment?
I wanted to cover that. I am in what? Real? Go ahead, Frank. Go ahead. Help me out with that.
It says, I want to cover that I am in fact real.
Nicole, you haven't been to a game in 2 years. So we don't know I've only met you once, and I think I actually met Sam. So I don't even know if I really actually met you. So I don't know. Frank, you ever meet Nicole?
Yeah, about 6 or 7 times.
Oh, 6 or 7. Oh, it has to be down the shore. It has to be at the Borgata.
No. Never down in Atlantic City. Well, most recently was this year at the alumni party.
Right, but Nicole doesn't drink.
I don't think maybe
she's
she
always meeting people at bars, but she doesn't drink. So whatever.
And then, of course, the Devils games. I would run into her a lot.
Hey, Nick, man, Nicole's the boss lady. Give her a break tonight. Give her a break.
Oh no,
But she
Nicole.
does a great
Nicole
job.
could
She
pull
does
a
a great job. We all do a
Nicole
great
could
job on
no
the
no.
show.
I love you guys. I love Nicole.
I know.
And Nicole was nervous about coming on at the very beginning, and I gave her a pep talk. And when I walked through the arena, I mean, your show is great. You really know Nicole, and I'm not lying. That's it. I've had that like 5 times. So people come up to me and said, "How is it to work with Nicole?" So yeah. So
Nicole says that's a lie. I went to NJIT game.
on
Was it
that
this
note,
year or
um,
last year, Frank?
I
I think she's talking about last year. That was
Okay.
we did win that game, right?
wait. When did we?
Oh yeah, yeah. I was at that game.
You were at
Yeah.
but you didn't see Nicole though.
I didn't even know who she was,
Yeah, exactly.
but she
Well,
does a great job on the show.
oh no, Nicole's great. Nicole, look, we have, like we said, we have a very deep team. Like we do.
We have a
Like
good team. We have a good team.
the 3 of us could not be in here tonight, and it could have been Bobby, Elijah, and that guy from Mississippi, and they wouldn't miss a beat. So yeah,
Last season we played NJIT.
Yeah, we know that. We said that. Yeah. We won that game.
I forgot
Yep.
my son is going on Wednesday. I think he's going to see NJIT on Wednesday, and I have a meeting that I'm thinking of blowing off, but I really, Bill, these government things, and
Yeah, I can't even get a press pass to NJIT. For
You
some
want to go
reason,
Wednesday? Wait, do you want to go Wednesday?
I mean,
If Nick Nick, get Bill a ticket for Wednesday.
I'll let you know.
Let me know, because I think Nick might be able to get you a ticket, Bill. Not a press ticket though.
Okay, no problem.
But I can't believe you can't get a press ticket for NJIT and you get press tickets for
Well, we
Seton
did.
Hall?
We lost contact. I must have lost contact with the press guy. I don't know if he's new or older guy. I don't know what the situation with NJIT, but I would love to cover them also. I do cover Essex County College. They got a good young team. They're 6-2 on the season. I got an opportunity to meet the coach, do a story on them, and the kids. They're local kids. They got some transfers. They've been at the women's games, but it's an overall pleasure to be on the show each week, giving content and commentary about Seton Hall. It's always a pleasure with Frank, Nicole, Scoop, Elijah, Bobby. We're all family, man. We're all family.
We're all family, the whole team. But being
Yep.
family, we want to make sure that Nicole, I can't believe she's not going to the Rutgers game. Christina's going to the Rutgers game. Nick's going to the Rutgers game. I'm going. Frank's going. Bill's going. Bobby's going. I don't know if Eli's going. We got to see if Eli's going. But I mean,
Get her a
Nicole,
press
come
pass.
on.
Maybe we can get her. Maybe we get her a press pass to go.
Sam's going. Her friend Sam, the professor's going.
Okay.
So we're gonna do a group picture at some point, right? Well, I'm gonna plan that. But what good is it? Because Nicole's not gonna be in it.
Okay.
I'm reaching out to
Because
someone.
I'm reaching out to someone.
Oh, I know
Okay.
who I know who she's reaching out to. I know who she's reaching out to. I know exactly. Nicole, did he graduate last year? The person you're reaching out to? We're gonna. My goal is to get Bill. My goal is to get you at that game Wednesday.
Okay, we'll try to make it.
Is it going to be you? Is it going to be you and Felicia, or just you? Do you need one or two? No, he's laughing. What? I can't hear you.
It's probably just going to be me for now.
Okay. All right. Let's. Nicole, you kept saying we're having someone joining us. If not, I'm going to go last call. Nothing,
I
Nicole?
wanted to mention something very important, Nick, on the show. I do a lot of community stuff. This coming Saturday in Orange, People Over Politics, Councilman Weldon Montague, Cliff Ross, they're co-founders of People Over Politics. They're going to have a toy and coat drive up here in Orange at 234 Lincoln Avenue. Anybody wants to donate coats, please give me a call, 862-766-7386. Their organization deals with, scholarships for local kids in Essex County. They took a group of young kids from Orange area and Essex County out to summer camp. So I just want you to get the word out. People over politics. This coming Saturday, 234 Lincoln Avenue, Orange. If you want to come out and donate a coat, stop by. There's gonna be food, entertainment, and all types of good stuff by Councilman Cliff Ross and Councilman Montague. They're co-founders of the organization.
Isn't Brittany involved in that?
I don't
Assemblywoman
know.
Timberlakes, isn't she involved in that?
She's always involved in a lot of things.
Yeah, I think she's
I don't know if
involved in that.
Okay.
But no, Bill, you do a great job. I mean, that's why one of the reasons why we get along so well. I was raised to always give back to your community. So yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just so important. Yep. Frank, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Great night. Really impressive start. And let's cap off the non-conference season with a big victory on Saturday night.
Bill, final thoughts.
My final thoughts are, Seton Hall played a great game, great win for the program. Hopefully they'll keep it going against Rutgers at home, and much improved from last year at this time.
Yeah, I'm gonna say what I've been saying. It's nice that we're relevant again. Let's enjoy it. There's some people like Nicole who never had a downturn, right? Because they've been fans. We were always winning, and last year was the first off year. So it was hard. And look, with everything with the NIL, there are people saying that we were never going to be back.
Exactly.
And I give Brian Felt, our AD. I love Brian. I've said that all along. I think Brian did a great job bringing us back, and Shaw did a tremendous job. And Shaw got killed last year, and Shaw didn't forget how to coach all of a sudden. It was just one of those years. It happens, and now we're back. And thank everyone who joined. Joe, right? We had Joe joined, Nick Jr. joined, Tom, Mike, the other Mike. So good participation, and that's what we like to see. And we're going to try to do this, Bill, tomorrow night. You're going to be available? Going to try to do Hall Hoops and Happening at 8 and do a kind of a recap with the men and the women. We lost Bill. Or you want to? Frank, you said you couldn't tomorrow night, right?
Oh, no. I might be able to join tomorrow night.
All right. So, I think it'll be good. I think we'll have more of the crew. And if you guys just want to hang on 2 seconds once we go off the air. Good night, everybody. God bless. We appreciate your participation, and thank you.